Hi Virgo, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your October 2021 new moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. How will Virgo be affected by the October 2021 new moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels. And spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. So at the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. At our root, we have the Hierophant and we have the moon. So this moon is going to very much affect us, and very much at a traditional level, like the way that we see ourselves moving forward, the way that we look at what it is that we want. If we have Taurus energy within our natal chart, if we have Pisces energy within our natal chart, this is going to be very affected by this moon. And this is also going to be coming out very strongly. The Seven of Air, the Seven of Swords, we're going to have a hard time taking what we need and leaving what we don't. It's either, I have the hiccups. It's either going to be that we take too much with us or that we don't take anything at all. So that's going to be very interesting here. Then we have the Sun, which is the equivalent of the High Priestess within the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. And there's a sense of this beauty and this intricacy coming over, this passion in the heart being such a powerful gift to us during this time. We then have the Magician, as above, so below, as we believe it, so we are. We have the Seven of Cups, dreams coming forward, and we have Judgment, rising out of darkness, doubt, despair. We have the Star, which is Aquarius energy, coming forward within our public arena self. This is wishes. We have the Seven of Cups, also wishes coming forward. We have the Eight of Swords. It's almost as if we're heading towards our dreams, and then our head gets in our way, and we think, no, I can't do this. Like, I can't possibly. We become too much in our own minds. Then we have the Two of Swords, where there are difficulties to come, yes, because of the planetary alignment and everything that's going on during this moon. But it's also a sense of, I'm getting this far, or I thought of these two paths. And we have to open up our mind a bit more, because there's a path that's coming forward that we just didn't think of, that we just didn't, connect with or understand. And that starts to really open doors for us. Now let's look at the energy we need to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. This is the Prince of Cups. So that's where that Cancer energy came in when I first shuffled the cards. This is Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, so it can be the Pisces energy here at our root, Cancer energy from before, also Scorpio energy coming forward. There is a sense of being very mindful of what we're fighting for the heart. You know, what we're fighting for emotionally, what's draining us emotionally, and why. We're also going to be very drawn, Virgo, to emotionally draining people, to people who just kind of cause a bit of drama in our lives and in other people's lives. And so we have to be mindful of that. It's going to seem like a great idea. They can be really fun in the moment, but we need to make sure that we're moving forward on an emotionally stable path for us. Now, our chakra energy for this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Okay, is 2. We have the root chakra and we have the star soul chakra. Now the root chakra here is family. The star soul chakra, there we go, located 6 inches above our crown, is divine wisdom. So we're embracing here our root, our sense of family, our sense of love, our sense of commitment, the family that we were born into, the family that we have created, the family that, you know, the friends that are family to us, and then divine wisdom, the sense that wisdom is coming to us, insight and understanding is coming our way if we let it in. Now let's start talking about this moon. This moon is intense. It is the most malevolent moon that we've seen in a really, really long time. It has this nasty undertone to it. I'm not saying this to fearmonger. I'm not saying this to get everybody upset. I'm saying this so that we understand the energy that is around us during this time. And if you're like me and you've been just out of sorts, out of alignment with yourself, you know why. You're like, oh, okay, it's this moon. And then you give yourself time before the moon, you know, after the moon, to take in this energy, to understand the energy that is affecting us, and then be able to move forward with this knowledge, with a lot of things that have come up because this moon has made us face so many frustrations, so many doubts, so many angers that we didn't want to face. Now, the new moon is in Libra, and that is the best possible thing that we can say about this moon. It says here, yes, a new romantic cycle is starting, and it can be that we start falling in love with life in a different way, that a new sense of love, a new sense of commitment, a new sense of passion is coming forward. This can really open up a new chapter in our life because it is so combative, because it is so chaotic and toxic at times, that it makes us see things in a completely different way, and it opens up a new path for us. Now, the new moon in Libra brings harmony, balance, and a strong sense of partnership. We want those that we love to be in balance with us around and to be around us. Now, it doesn't mean that those that we love only romantically, but those that we feel connected to, partnerships in work, partnerships in, you know, in friendships, partnerships in every single aspect of life. We want those relationships to run smoothly. And because of the planetary alignment, things can be a little bit difficult during this time. This is the first new moon of fall and of spring, and so it has a power to it. It does. It has a power that brings balance, that brings change forward. But it also has this intensity because the sun, the moon, Mercury, and Mars are all clustered around Libra. And it's an empowering energy that it gives. It's like an intense energy, but it's also an energy we need to be mindful of. This is the end of a 28-day cycle, the beginning of another. There's going to be bursts of energies here, of insight and intuition, and also of initiative. Like, I can get this done. I see what needs to be done, and I can get it done. Usually, this is the best time to start or finish a project, but again, this moon needs to be dealt with caution. The new moon is going to be conjunct Mars. What's so important here is that we come with a higher energy vibration, or if we have a lower energy vibration because this moon's energy and the planetary alignments are getting to us, what we have to do is we have to kind of raise ourselves up or just acknowledge it and say, you know what, I'm testy, I'm angry, I'm overwhelmed, I see why, and I'm going to handle this. I'm going to look at this openly and honestly to empower me, to move me forward. If we don't come to things with a high energy vibration, we can absolutely be taken advantage of during this new moon, because that this is such a strong combination of the moon conjunct Mars. This gives us powerful energy, it gives us courage, and again, it gives us initiative, but we have to be mindful of how we use it. If we do not recognize and respect the power within us and the way this energy is working within us, this can lead to devastating consequences. We'll all be hot-headed and a bit cruel, and that's going to be everybody. Everybody, if we don't step into our power, recognizing our way forward, recognizing what we want, we can just let chaos erupt. This power, this powerful changing, this powerful charged energy changes us. It just does. It leads us to irritation. It leads us to aggression. It leads us to feeling like we need to act and to do something without really knowing why. We need to step back. We need to sip chamomile tea. We need to embrace homeopathy and chamomile or other calming substance that can center us. The brand Calms or Rescue Remedy, I don't have any affiliation with them, but they're just tried and true brands that I always go back to, that calm, that center, that can help, lift the stress from our shoulders. That's really good. That's going to be something we need during this time, because the new moon is going to be Quincus Uranus. Now, this combo does not calm us down or does not calm anything down. What it does, it adds nervousness, tension, and anxiety. We feel like there's a change that cannot be stopped that's on the horizon. It's coming for us. We feel like a change is actually coming for us. It's like hunting us down. But it's not necessarily going to be hunting us down. It's a change that needs to happen, even though we might be a bit resistant to it. Why? Because we're also coming out of Pluto retrograde, which was the time where we just needed to hold on to everything. We couldn't have any change. We needed to, embrace control completely. And so releasing this energy during this time and having all this energy come forward, it can be a bit much for us. We need to make sure to take time to relax. We need to make sure to take time for self-care. We need to make sure not to rush into anything. Rushing into anything during this time is just going to be foolish. Mars is going to be Quincus Uranus. This doesn't help our nerves or our anxiety. We find ourselves losing our patience. We find ourselves just needing to act. Whether it's right or whether it's wrong, it doesn't matter. As long as we did something, we're going to feel justified or right or righteous. And that's not always a good thing. We can be rebellious for the sake of rebelling. Now, this can make us feel like we're 16 again and just rebelling because we need to, we want to. But if we were never rebellious, this could be really challenging energy. It makes us doubt the choices that we made. It makes us doubt, why we're moving forward this way. It makes us doubt a lot of things. And what this rebellion is also going to do, it's going to hurt our long-term goals. So do be mindful of that. The new moon and Mars are aligned with the constellation of Carvus the Crow. Now, even the stars don't add any calming energy, because Carvus the Crow, though in June, what is the word that I'm looking for? Having tremendous ingenuity. There we go. Though completely industrious, that was the word that I was looking for. Though completely industrious and passionate, those are the best traits of Carvus the Crow. The other traits are greed and dishonesty and vengefulness and spitefulness and selfishness and aggression to ourselves and to others. We're not going to take time to be kind to us, and we're not going to take time to be kind to others if we let ourselves kind of get swept away with the energy that this planetary alignment and, star alignment brings us. It also, within the constellation of Carvus the Crow, is the fixed star Algorba. Now, Algorba is known for bringing a kill or be killed attitude. So we have to be mindful of backstabbing. We have to be mindful of an energy of chaos just being around us just during this time and trying to stop us from moving forward. We have to look at our traditions. We have to look at what's intrinsically important and valuable to us. This isn't talking about cultural traditions. This isn't talking about family traditions. It's talking about the things that we need to do for ourselves to elevate us forward, to move us in the direction that we want to embrace our hearts, to embrace our souls, the things that we do that make us feel comfortable with us. The Hierophant comes forward. The Hierophant is the major arcana marriage card. It is the sense of commitment. What are we committed to? Not who, okay, not what groups are we committed to, but what are we ourselves committed to within this lifetime, within the energy of our expression, within what we want and desire from our lives. How are we embracing this? It moves us then to the moon. This moon tests us in a way that we don't want to be tested. The moon comes forward. Now, it makes us deal with fears. It makes us deal with anxieties that we don't want to deal with. It makes us deal with things that we would rather not. We would rather not look at. We would rather not see. This is a time where Spirit is pretty much saying, I'm sorry, but you have to. You have to look at this road. And it's the road that we'd rather not travel. But it's the road that needs to be acknowledged. We need to acknowledge our passion, our determination, our focus, our insight, our ideas. But we need to acknowledge the darkness of the new moon and the introspection that brings. We need to acknowledge the moments of quiet, the moments of intensity, the moments of indecisiveness. And it leads us to the Seven of Swords, the Seven of Air. Now, the Seven of Air in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck is a person gathering up a bunch of swords, leaving like 2 behind. In the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, I believe it's 2 that are left behind, and moving forward. Now, it warns us of sneakiness, but this can also be that all sneakiness is revealed. And though we might think, wow, that's awesome, like people aren't going to be sneaking around me, it can also really start to upset us. What if we start learning that some people were stealing while on our shift, at work? What if we learned that people were talking behind our backs? What if we learn all this stuff during this time, and it starts to taint the way that we're looking at things, the way that we're handling things, the resentment that we're feeling within ourselves? Because that's what this time does for us. It brings up a lot of things that would make us just want to explode, that just would make anger want to come out. And yet the sun comes forward. Now, what's interesting is that this represents the High Priestess in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. We have the High Priestess and we have the Magician. We have the High Priestess and we have the Hierophant. In some older forms of the tarot, the High Priestess was known as the female Pope. The female Pope, now whether you believe in the myth or the story of Pope Joan or not, is irrelevant. It is the female counterpart to the Hierophant, to the Pope. And so here, when we have the sun coming forward, when we have our passion being realized and being looked at, when we are looking at ourselves in our way, and the way that we want to embrace our love and our light, he holds the heart in his hands around flowers. We start looking at ourselves openly, honestly, and powerfully. The veil is lifted from our eyes. We connect again with what we need to see, not what we want to see. And that leads us to a place where we can be doubting things, especially since lies aren't going to be hidden from our inner selves at all. Actually, we're going to find ourselves calling out people in our minds. Maybe not out loud, because that might not be polite, and we might not be able to do that with certain people. But in our heads, it's like, I can't trust you. Oh, wow, you're a liar. Oh, wow, you're planning to do this. Oh, wow, you're a backstabber. And those are going to be things that start coming up, and it's like, but where do I stand now? What do I want? And that's where we have the Magician coming in. And it says, as above, so below. As you believe it, so it becomes. And there's an intensity here. There's an intensity to putting our, elemental self on the table and saying, this is what I'm made of. This is like the meat and potatoes of me. And as I put myself forward, I claim my power. I claim my tenacity. I do so with the sun, within the Witch's Wisdom deck, within the High Priestess, and I do so publicly, emotionally, being able to say what I want, say what I need, know where I need to go. And it starts to align us with our dreams. But it also has us, questioning our dreams. There is a sense here that our heart is saying, it's time to let your dreams come forward. Our public self is going to say, you know what, you can embrace your dreams completely, but you just have to be mindful. You just have to remember every time you failed, every time you weren't able to move forward, every misstep along the way. And that's going to be hard. That is going to be really, really hard. So we have to be mindful about this and not let ourselves get caught in this trap of, well, I'm being honest because you need to hear it. It's like, no, I'm being cruel because this time brings out a cruelty in us. So we might not be cruel to other people. We might be bending over backwards to make everybody happy, to make everything run smooth. But we won't do that for ourselves. Why? The Seven of Cups comes forward and says, remember your dreams. Don't keep them locked away in the closet. Don't keep them for, special or for somebody else. Start to bring them out for you. They're not just something to visit when we've had a rough day, and then we can go and look at our dreams and say, oh yeah, I still have you there. And you're pristine. The world hasn't sullied you. The world hasn't destroyed you. It moves us to judgment. It moves us to hearing a call that has us come out of our box, has us come out of the darkness that we were in, the hurt, the pain, the disappointment that was a part of us. It has us rise. Judgment comes, and we see the box that we put ourselves in. We see the way that we judged ourselves harshly for maybe even no reason other than we felt like we had to, or somebody else had judged us and we just rolled with it. Now we see ourselves rising, and it brings us to the sun. Well, it brings us to the star, far away suns. It brings us to our wishes, our deepest desires. Spirit, divinity, sees what our soul longs for, what we need, not what we want. And so our dreams start to come forward, but in that way of, this is what I need within my life. This is my passion, this is my intensity, this is what I desire. This isn't what I wanted at the time, per se. And so our dreams start to come forward. It's that moment of release where all is possible. And yet, we're going to have the strongest urge to just shut that door on us. The Eight of Swords, restrictions, doubts, fears, denials, hurts, pains, disappointments. I can't because there is this cage around me. I can't because there is no way that I get to move forward. I can't because beauty is for others, not me. And this is a time where it's like, why? Why am I doing this to myself again? Why am I being held back? Why am I denying myself? Why aren't I moving forward? The Eight of Swords comes in. And we need to really be aware of self-deprecation in the public arena, of talking ourselves down. Now, we don't want to move to the other extreme of being braggadocious and ego-driven, but we need to look at the cage that we're in and why we're there, the doubts and the fears and the intensity of it. And it moves us to the Two of Swords. It moves us to a place where we start to see the two roads that we had chosen, or the two roads that we thought we would be able to walk. And we start to say, I don't want that. And we start to see a new way, a new path moving us forward. This brings us to our Luna message. So let's see what the moon has to say for herself. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. At our root, we have creation. Surrender to the divine. Creation comes from this surrender, from this embracing of our intentions and our abilities, and the stopping of the doubting in our inner self. We have pleasure. Be bold and make the first move. It is time to embrace what brings us pleasure within life, our happiness, our joys, our laughter, our beauty. Then we have our emotional self, abundance. Prosperity lies ahead. Emotionally, this is a time to call in a win. This is a time to know that we're headed in the right direction. If we listen to our hearts, if we release what needs to be released, if we start to embrace joy and we are bold in how we are embracing our lives, how we are embracing ourselves, and then leads us to our public arena, which is purity. You and your loved ones are safe. It's like, stay purely connected to your wishes, to your dreams, to what you desire within your life, to what you are creating. And let that guide you forward, to let you know that things are okay. Our subconscious Luna message begins with the new moon itself and beginnings. So the new moon is quite intense for us, quite powerful for us. It brings us then to the new moon. A new start is coming. Virgo, the power of this new moon is astounding. We need to embrace new beginnings. We need to embrace this energy, even understanding the chaos of it. And know that this new moon, will affect us more than it will most people. All right, so be mindful of that. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the Hermit. That's us in the major arcana. We're represented by the Hermit. This is the very essence of ourselves. We have to be mindful of getting in our own way, of self-sabotaging, of, keeping ourselves held back, but also becoming too reclusive during this moon and just hiding away. It moves us to our subconscious chakra energy. Truth. Finding the balance and trusting the truth of our voice, of our connections. This is again our third chakra. And this is saying, I embrace the truth of me. It's embracing the Hierophant, it's embracing the High Priestess, it's embracing the Magician, it's laying our truth on the table. It moves us to our subconscious rooted energy, and that's the Empress. The Empress claims the throne she never knew she had, claims the voice she didn't realize was silenced. And that's what we're doing here. We're claiming a power that we didn't realize was so powerfully and beautifully us. We're also letting go of other people's expectations and cruelties. It moves us to our inner self. The Ace of Air. I like this ace very much. There's a sense here, not a sense. The harp is made of bone, and the strings are made of, what is that, spider web. If you can see that. And I think it's beautiful. It's of the earth, there is music. Of the air, of the intention, it is sung. It is played, it is created. And that's going to be this time for us. Of the earth, we come forward. And we start to sing this song. We start to embrace this intensity, this beauty, this power of our words and ourselves that we didn't think existed. We didn't think could come forward. And now it is. It follows our wishes. It follows our soul's desire. It moves us to our subconscious emotional self. And that's the Hierophant coming through, not the Hierophant, the Hermit coming through again. And that's us. That is us. And as we look at this, okay, what I love about this card is that we have here the Magician in his fine purple robe. And we have here the Hermit in a fine purple robe, worn extensively. We go from claiming everything that we want in front of the altar of our creation to walking our truth, our path, in the power and in the purpose of ourselves, without anybody else to bear witness but us. We have the flexibility of mind and spirit, the healing, the desire, the insight to lead us forward. It brings us to our subconscious public arena self. And that's the Ace of Wands. You've gotten all the aces, have you? Well, with the Magician, you definitely have. But you've gotten the Ace of Air and the Ace of Wands. Not the others. But there is a sense here of all the gifts coming forward for you, Virgo. All the gifts, all the passion, all the intention. And this is the fire. This is the reason we get out of bed in the morning. The fire, the intensity, the new beginnings, the insight, the ideas. We're changing the game. And as we change the game, we embrace a powerful, beautiful intensity of self and determination of self. This is new adventures. It's time for an adventure. All right, Virgo. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and the complexity of this new moon. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Virgo. And may you have a blessed new moon.